6 o'clock.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the reason I called this meeting is that I think we have the opportunity to put the fire alarm in Newt Middle School, and we'd have to go remote the rest of the month of January. We don't have to affect MES. But the only thing is I want to give you a couple of statistics that came in on the news tonight. Milton has 68 total and 16 active right now, okay? And what it is, Bob has it lined up or contacted them, and if we do this, the fire alarm can come in and do it, and I think they can possibly get it done by the I hope by the end of January. That'll be up to they should be here. So you want Bob to speak first or what?
Yes.
Bob?
Okay. Yeah. As you know, we did sign a contract with OneSource Security. So they have and we have the design that was approved by the state this past October for both school buildings. And so our previous window of opportunity obviously would have been next summer. But recently we've run into some problems with the Newt fire alarm system, which a technician worked on troubleshooting today. And we're at a point with the Newt system that we'd be looking at spending quite a bit of money on working on the system, trying to find parts that are difficult to find, as you know, because they're not in production anymore. Parts are wherever you can find them, and some are used parts. So in order to fix the system, we'd be throwing away money that, spending money now that we'd be throwing away next summer. So my recommendation is now that we look at extending the remote from Tuesday, January 29th through Friday, Tuesday, January 19th through Friday, January 29th. And that would give us enough time to actually upgrade the fire alarm system at both the middle and the high.
No, this is up to the board. We'd be doing Newt in middle school, not MES at this point. And the reason we've done that, because we think if we have to do both of them this summer, we may not have enough time. And it may put a kink in summer school. I'll get to you in a minute, Jan. And that's another issue that's come up. Jan?
Yeah, Bob, if you could just talk about how long it's going to take. Some people in town are thinking it only takes 2 weeks and we're not starting it until the 19th. Can you talk about how long the whole process is?
Yeah, I'd love to on that. Yeah, we estimate it to be a total of 4 to 5 weeks with several technicians working on it. The work would actually start next Monday. So we're going to dive into it right away in order to do that. And we anticipate we could have, a week's buffer on the other end, but we built that into the schedule just in case something goes awry, as things often do when you try and do a project.
Melissa?
We met on this fire alarm last year. Why is it taking so long to get a fire alarm system that we voted on almost a year ago installed in our school system? This is ridiculous how long it's taken.
Bob, I guess it's asking that question of you.
I'm asking it from anybody who can give me an answer.
Because it just got approved. We have to get approval from the state before we can proceed. We just got approval.
Well, then why did it take so long?
I don't know. You have to call the state. I have no idea. Bob, do you have an answer?
Well, part of the answer to that ends up being, if we back into, I believe it was last June, when we had a meeting to discuss needing additional monies because of the wiring situation for the old system. So a lot of design work had to go into that to get it ready to go to the state. So it's just nature of the beast of trying to pull a project together. I don't remember the exact timeline, but it certainly was probably very similar to that for the air handler as well too. You know, so I don't know. It just takes time. So I did send out. I know Kathy had sent out a note giving you the whole timeline, so you had all of the key dates.
Anybody else?
So, yep. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead, Peg.
okay.
You had your hand up.
Peg?
Yeah,
And
I just
Paul.
remember though, Bob, when we were talking about it, that we sent several iterations to the state and they kept coming back and, you know, adjustments made and sent back. And so I'm not sure how many times it went to this, or the design went to the state, but I know that that certainly held up a few months because they were busy and
That was part of it, and part of the cycles that went on was the construction company, One Source Security, also was responsible for doing the detail part of the design. So we had, if you recall, SFC, the engineering company, overlooking that work. So that went back and forth a few cycles. And as Peg brought up, when we submitted to the state, they come back with some questions. We had to answer those questions. So, and then you get back in queue again, so things just get delayed again. So it was an iterative process of several or many cycles that Peg had brought up.
Can I go to Paul and then I'll go to Emily? Paul?
Well, I guess my biggest thing is, I mean, we've talked about it, and you know, I know, like Melissa said, it's been on the agenda quite a few times. I know it takes time to do things like this, but now all of a sudden we have to do this, or else it's going to bite us in the butt in the end. In the meantime, we have parents that are going to go from 2 weeks full remote to a month full remote. It's not. I don't think that's a good idea. I really don't. I mean, we're taking into account a fire alarm system. Yes, we need, but we also need to take into account the surveys that were put out and all these other things that we have 600 kids worth of working parents out there that can't keep flipping their schedules around just so we can get this fire alarm system done. If we have money in the coffers to fix the fire alarm system to get us through to the summertime, then so be it. But I don't think it's fair to all the adults that have these kids in school that are just going to, you know, inadvertently find childcare for another 2 weeks when they also already have to do it for 2 weeks in January. So, you know, I don't think this is right.
Okay, Emily? Emily?
No, don't be frozen, Emily.
I think she's frozen.
Well, I mean, the reason I moved it up is because I think we're going to have a problem during the summer to do both of these at the same time, because the possibility exists that we might not be able to have summer school.
Well, we talked about doing the high school and the middle school first,
That's what I'm doing.
and then using the old parts to work with the elementary school. So it's not doing 2 schools at the same time.
That's what I'm bringing up now.
Well, you just said it. Well, you don't think it's going to be hard doing 2 schools at the same time with summer school going on.
During the summer, you're going to have a problem if you try to do both of them.
But our original plan was to do summer school, during the summer, do Newt in the middle school, and then do the elementary school at a later date because we're just using the old parts from the high school.
It's up to the board.
Melissa's got her hand up.
You know,
What?
summer school is a lot easier to deal with for parents than right now and right here. It's a lot easier to deal with that. We are depriving our children, not only educationally, but social and emotional. We're causing trauma that we can't undo. Parents cannot keep their kids home. And to ask us to keep them home even longer is ridiculous.
Okay, I don't argue that with anybody, and I'm been an advocate for that. Okay, and I understand what everybody's saying. So, and I agree with you, Melissa. They should be in school, and I agree. Peg?
Yeah, I just clarification. I thought we were doing new systems at both schools, and any parts that were salvageable, we were just putting in storage just in case.
Oh.
Is that true,
Bob?
Bob?
We would do one school first, save the parts for the other. So if there was a delay in the other one happening, we would have spare parts.
Okay, but we are planning on doing new systems at both schools, right? Or both buildings?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, I guess my point was not at the same time. We're gonna do one, and once we get through one, then we'll go on to the other one. But Doug was saying both schools at the same time in the summer.
Bob?
I just don't remember. I see Nathan's online. I don't remember if there was a timeline on when the funds had to be spent.
Yeah, 2024.
Okay, we're good.
Hmm.
Peg?
Another question, can it be done, I'm just thinking piecemeal, so that for the 2 weeks that were already scheduled? No, okay, all right,
No,
okay.
Tammy?
So I guess if this is important to get this done now, then what needs to get done and fixed that's so important? I guess that was my question.
if Jeremy Lampert can join us, if he's sitting in the background, he's from Protection Professionals, and he could.
Yeah, he's on there. Steve, if you can put him through.
Is he hooked up, Steve?
Hold on, I think he's sending me a text. Hold
Yeah,
on.
he's here.
Yep,
Thank
I don't know if you can hear me at all.
Yes, I can now.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, Bob, and you got any questions you asked Jeremy and Bob? Anybody got any questions for him?
I don't think we have questions on that. I think it's just a matter of when it's going to be done versus what we can do, what we need to do for the children and for the instructors.
So the question would be trying to get an understanding of what we would need to do to fix Newt's fire alarm system right now. And Jeremy can help us with that.
Yeah, absolutely. The big problem you're going to have is obviously parts and availability of parts for those systems. The original manufacturer of both systems was Siemens, and they have discontinued the lines of Faraday. They discontinued them 2 or 3 years ago, and any parts that you get now are in new old stock, and there's only one distributor that's selling them at this point, and the parts and pieces are very expensive. So by doing this conversion at the middle school, you will have, you will have some surplus parts from either school that you have available, which is a good thing. Hold on to them, use them to perform maintenance. So it's a good resource to have.
Okay, I got a question, 2 questions. What is the cost right now if we did the fire alarm at the high school? What's the total cost?
Just to do the conversion for the parts and pieces.
No, the putting in the new.
Yeah, putting in the new is right around 25,000, I would say.
And what is it gonna cost to do the repair?
Depends on what you need. That's a hard one to say, but the devices depends on what kind of devices you need and what repair you need.
Do you have a rough estimate?
What is the repair you're looking for at the high school?
What needs to be done? I'm not sure. I'm not privy to that. What's going on over there, Bob?
Yeah, we have trouble with one of the expansion modules having enough power
Oh,
to drive all of the duct smokes.
that's right. That's the power supply that Jordan was looking at today. That's probably right around $1,000 total with labor and parts.
Tammy's got a question, Doug.
Go ahead.
So that's something that cannot wait. Is that what you're saying? That cannot wait until the summer?
Correct.
So then we fix it.
Mhm.
Peg?
Okay, I have another question. If we are putting 2 new systems in, but saving the old parts, can we take any of the new parts for the new systems that we have and fix whatever needs to be done? with what's
Uh,
broken at Newt right now?
You may be able to salvage some of that and bring it over to Newt. Depends on what you need to have done.
Jeremy, that wasn't her question. She wants to know if you can use the new parts now to
Right.
fix Newt's problem.
The new parts
could-
from what you're doing at the elementary school?
No,
Okay.
bringing in the new parts.
Yeah.
We got on order to do this job. Can they be put in place of what's failing?
Yes.
So we can basically install some of the new parts that we were
No.
ordering for the new system.
Bob?
No, we're getting a little bit confused here. The new system parts would not function on the old system. Right? Because we couldn't take a power supply from a different manufacturer and have that work, could we, Jeremy?
Yeah. Depending on what you needed to do, you could. Because the power supplies those power supplies over at the high school are just for the strobe part of the notification device. You have a voice evacuation system over there. So the power supplies are a little bit more interchangeable than the initiation devices, like the smoke detectors, pull stations, modules.
Right.
The power supplies are a little bit more interchangeable. So you could put new power supplies that would be compatible with whatever new system you put in that would work now with what you have.
Okay, that's what Pegra's trying to get,
Yeah.
help us that way.
Okay.
Tammy?
And I just want to make sure that everyone is aware, and you can say yes or no, that the kids cannot be in the school when this is happening. Is that correct? Because we cannot have any kids in the school when they're working or doing something with the fire alarm systems. Am I wrong?
Bob?
If we're putting in a new system, the system would be down, so we couldn't have any children in at that point in time.
Okay, thank you.
And that was the dilemma. That's why if we were going forward, we would need additional time to complete the installation.
Okay, I
So
just
no
wanted to make
sports?
sure of that.
So no sports during this shutdown. There'll be nothing going on in the school.
That's our next topic, I think, because I got an email saying that sports are going to continue if the board approves it.
Yeah, I'd like to know how we can allow people in the school for sports if we can't allow them for education.
Let's do the first thing first.
Well, do we want to proceed with this project, or do you want to do the Peg?
Okay, just quick question. If we can actually take new parts, I mean, Jeremy, you said you were going to take a look and see what needs to be fixed. How long will that take to repair everything? Because it sounds as if it's going to be very difficult to actually get parts because we have to go to, nobody knows where to find the parts to the old system. How long will that take? Because it may take a month to get parts from old parts to the old system. But if we can replace with new parts from the new system, how long will that all take?
If it's just the power supply that we need to repair over there, that can be done very quickly. That's just a change out, couple hours. And those parts are readily available right now because we can use a newer device that's compatible with multiple systems for that. So no matter which direction you go forward, you'll have a new part that will work with whatever you put in.
Okay.
Bob?
So I guess, if I can
Go ahead,
go.
Paul.
So I guess what I want to do, what I would like to see happen is if it's a power supply system, then it can be fixed using new parts or whatever it is we need to do. That gives us, school closes Wednesday. Obviously, we don't do anything this week, but we have basically 3 weeks to get this fixed.
Yeah.
And if that's what it takes to get it fixed, and to get our kids back in school for that extra 2 weeks that they need, that's what I would like to do, and then put the system in the summer like we originally planned.
Bob?
Yeah, I just hate to complicate it a little bit, but Steve Hammies from One Source Security is available to talk to us as well too. And
I'll get them.
he could talk a little bit about maybe switching gears and doing the elementary school during the break that we already have, not break, but Christmas plus the remote that we're already doing, and save the elementary school parts. We can pull an expander module out of there and use that for Newt, go the other way. So if Stephen, if you get him set up, that would help us. Hi, Steve, he is there.
Yeah, I'm here, Bob.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, could you talk to that for us, Steve?
Yeah, I was
Okay,
just
Doug?
listening.
Yeah.
I was listening to your discussion, just thinking that for the elementary school, since that's a little bit easier project, if we knock that out during break, we could, to Jeremy's point, he could put that power supply in, and I agree that's an easy thing. We could provide him the power supply since you already bought it for the new system and put it in. Or if we did the elementary school and get that done during break, since it doesn't require as long of a time, and then save Newt in the middle school for the summer.
Perfect plan.
The power of brains, huh?
Yeah.
People who know what they're talking about.
I like that plan. That should be all like written up with little quotes on it as a motion.
I will re-listen to it and write it as he said.
So I can try. So see if this is right before you write this. That we're going to make a motion to do the repairs to the do the upgrade to the elementary school since it doesn't take as long. And then the parts that are left over from the elementary school, we can use to fix the problem at the high school to get us through till summer. Is that right?
Or give Jeremy the part that you're going to put into the high school since it's brand new and you own it. Instead of reusing an old part, you've already bought a new one.
As long as
just
it's
put it-
compatible, yeah.
As long as it's compatible, just to put it in.
I like it.
Either or.
Okay.
That gives Jeremy time. If I give him a new part, that gives him time to fit it into his schedule instead of waiting until we have a spare part to give him, which would probably work out just as well either way. But if he was really tight on his schedule and he needs some more flexibility, we could provide him with the power supply to put in for the high school, and it'll just already be there.
So by doing Newt, we'd be ahead of the game.
The elementary school.
I mean,
No.
yes.
No, I said putting the new part in Newt, we'd be ahead of the game.
With one part, yes.
So I'm gonna make the motion that we put the new part in at Newt.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Yep.
So we don't have to close the school down at the end of January at all. Or we're gonna have a problem when we put that part in. Bob?
What we were doing is thinking about the motion being upgrade the elementary school and put a new power supply or used one in Newt.
Correct.
Well, I got a motion on the floor to put the new part in at Newt.
And I made a motion to upgrade the elementary school while school's closed for 2 weeks in January.
Yeah, but you didn't have a second, though. You made the motion. If you want me to withdraw mine or Peg withdraws her, we will.
As long as we know what we're doing, I don't care who does the motion. I'll withdraw mine as long as someone says that exact thing. We're going to
Says what
upgrade
exact-
elementary. We're going to upgrade the elementary school during those 2 weeks in January, and then put the new power supply in Newt.
Second.
Okay, I withdraw my motion, so it's off the floor. So the motion is we do MES first. Wait a minute, John, please. Got an understanding here. So, and then we put the new, no, we're not gonna have a new part. We're gonna have an old part. From MES.
No,
No.
We have both.
if the new part will fit, we'll use that. If it won't, then we can use the old part from the elementary school to get us through.
So put new/used power supply in a
Correct.
new.
Correct.
Whatever
Okay.
makes
Can I
it
ask you-
work.
Can I ask you a clarifying question? How many days do you really have for break? Because you mentioned 2 weeks. So I just want to make sure that I know how many working days that we have so that I can confirm with our guys that
Actually,
we can get it done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
13.
7 working days.
Bob,
For the
Oh,
whole
no,
break?
no, I'm sorry. It's not 7.
You have,
Sorry.
Steve, you would
my
have
bad.
from,
wait a minute. I gotta go, let me go to Bob and then I gotta go to John.
Disregard what I said.
Bob,
on the calendar, we would have from next Monday, that's December 28th, until January 18th. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
okay, all right. John?
Well, I was just here for moral support, and then all of a sudden I hear what's going on. I mean, I'm like, wait a
13
minute,
days.
stop answering emails and listen. So how long is it going to take, Steve, to do the project?
Yeah, we had planned on for the elementary school 2 to 3 weeks with that lead time, with that little window in there. I was just going to text Ronnie to see if he could meet that time frame. If it was possible, it'd be great if I could get back to you tomorrow, but I know you guys want to do this tonight. So I was just going to see if he would answer a text that if he felt if he could get enough guys to make sure that we make it happen from that window that Bob just said, from the 28th through the 18th.
13 working days.
Yeah, the only, and I don't want to bring up potential problems, and I know I was the one that threw this idea out there, but as I'm thinking of it, we still have to make sure the state will get in and inspect it. And I would hate to get towards the end of break and be caught in the state's window of, yeah, we can't get out there to inspect it in time, and then we're in a world of, you know what. So I kind of would like to confirm with the state that if we got the work done, would they be able to do it? Because I know COVID has thrown everything off with inspections everywhere that we've been. So that could be an issue as well. So to do our due diligence, maybe we should be checking with them to make sure that they can conform to that too. So I don't know how you can leave it for tonight if that matters, that we were to make those calls tomorrow and find out. I just don't want to commit to something, then we get to the end of it and you're in trouble.
Paul?
I guess our primary concern is repairing Newt. So as long as Newt gets repaired, the other jobs, if for some reason the elementary school can't go over the next 2 weeks, then it can't go. But our only priority for this meeting was to make sure that the high school gets fixed.
So now, does that mean you want to withdraw your motion, Paul, and go back to?
What I would like to say is we are going to make a motion to repair Newt High School using new equipment. And if time permits and the state fits that in, then to go ahead with the repairs to the upgrade at the elementary school.
But we still have your motion, and Peg seconded it. We was going to do MES. You've got to withdraw that. That's on the table.
So withdraw and then say it again?
You made a motion that we work on MES. You want to do Newt, you got to withdraw your motion.
What I'm saying is, okay, well, what I was just
All
doing.
he's doing is amending his
I'm
motion.
amending it to say if the state allows us to do the upgrade to the elementary school, to continue to go ahead with that upgrade, but to repair Newt regardless.
Right.
If we can't get to the elementary school for some reason, okay, it still works. We just get to it when we get to it.
So you want to add an amendment?
To just say pending state approval.
Okay,
Do I have a second for that amendment?
I'll second that too, what Paul just said.
Now you got that clear, Tammy?
I'll re-listen to this and then I'll have it clear.
Well, you're saying if we can't do MES, we're going to do the part at the high school.
Right, if the state allows us to
Oh.
upgrade
Yeah,
the elementary school
We can't do the inspection.
2 to 3
No.
weeks in January, put new used power supply in at Newt.
Correct.
That's
And if
what-
the state approves it, then we'll approve the elementary school upgrade during that time. We can do that as well.
Okay,
So you want to do both jobs?
Doug, this is what we've been talking about from the
I know
beginning.
that. I want to be clear in what you're saying. You're going to do MES and you're going to do Newt at the same time?
MES and the power supply at Newt, nothing
Just
more
the
than
power
fix
supply.
Okay, that's what I want to make clear, Paul.
Okay,
Okay.
I thought I did. Okay.
Well, I do understand it now. So I need a motion to accept the amendment to the main motion. Peg?
Aye.
All right. Paul?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Emily?
Aye.
Now we all understand it. If we can do MES first, and we can get the inspection done, we're gonna do MES first. If not, we're gonna go and put the new part in Newt. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, I fully understand it now. Okay. Anybody, questions to anybody? Bob?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Peg?
No, I'm all set with that. It was a good plan.
No, I need no. We gotta we did the amendment, now we need to go to the main motion.
Oh,
Yes or no?
aye.
Aye. Paul?
Aye.
Thought we just did that.
No,
We did.
the
Aye.
amendment.
Aye.
Melissa? Emily?
Aye.
You have to do the amendment first because you add it to the main motion. Do we have anything more?
Yep, to talk about basketball, make sure that we got the, I don't know if we need to take a vote on that per the email that Jan sent to us today.
Jan?
I just had a question. So how long will it take to replace the power supply? And can we have kids in the building while they're doing that?
Bob?
Yeah, it shouldn't
Anybody,
take
Jeremy?
maybe an hour or so to replace the power supply. And as long as you're notifying the local authority having jurisdiction on a shutdown, you're not affecting more than 10% of the strobes. That's the only thing it's powering. It's not powering, you know. Yeah, you should be able to have kids in the school while you're doing that repair.
Thank you.
Now, do we have anything else?
So are we gonna, do we need to approve the basketball schedule, or are we all set just to go with it?
We don't have
Yeah,
to
so
take-
knowing that, I was gonna say, knowing that, yes, now I can have kids in the building even during that time, as long as we've notified the fire department, then I would like to make the proposal that we emailed you that kids can still play basketball. Anyone who's traveled outside of New England would have to follow the DHHS quarantine for 10 days and couldn't be into practice. Everyone else could be in to practice during the remote period. Would like to still hold, there's one game, home game scheduled during that period. Would like to be able to hold that game with no fans.
Yay!
Okay, the only remote period is gonna be up until January 19th, that's all.
Correct. So there's one game during that time, one home game.
Everybody understand that?
So they'll
Yep.
still continue to practice and play during that remote time. I just want to make sure we hear that, and that's what I agree with.
That's our proposal to you guys, yes, that they still be allowed to practice and play, and that we can host the one scheduled home game, and that can travel to the away game. But we would have no fans come in for the home game during the remote period.
Okay, I'll make a motion for that we continue basketball practice through the remote portion of January, and that we host our home game, and just for that one game, we won't have fans. But after that, we can.
I'll second that.
January 18th. Is that
Through
not-
January 18th.
What's that?
Through January 18th.
Or 19th, to the 19th. That's when we're remote. That's,
The 19th, we're back in school.
yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
It's gonna be part of the motion?
Yeah. While we're remote at the high school.
Just
Yeah,
to clarify, are we talking about no away fans or no fans at all?
No fans at all, and it's just for the January 11th.
Because that's still the post-holiday travel time, which I agree with that.
I mean, I get that, but we're having the kids from the same families in the same space. If you think about it, the kids that are playing are coming from the same homes from the people that would be sitting socially distanced with masks on.
But did they go travel? How are we gonna know if they traveled?
Well, if they traveled, their kids traveled.
Are they gonna go play basketball though?
No, if they traveled outside of New England, they still have to quarantine.
Right, that's
Right.
what I'm, you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
if their kids are there, then they wouldn't have done those things either.
And again, that's up to you. If you guys want us to allow fans, let us know that.
My motion is for no away fans.
Well, we
So if you
don't, we're
guys
not
want-
allowing away fans anyway.
Oh.
Unless it's a playoff game.
Are we clarify what we want to say? Bob?
You're muted, Bob.
I'm sorry, can our guests leave for the tech support side? You're all set with them?
Yeah,
Okay,
Thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you. You're
No.
welcome. Have a good night and a Merry Christmas.
yeah,
You
everybody.
too.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Merry Christmas to you.
Bye.
Are we all set? Well, we got the motion?
Earl's got his hand up, Doug.
Earl?
Okay, so we concur with the note, and you just did the vote on what Jan and what we sent you. But the last part, we don't have to play around with those games because we're not going through with the last 2 weeks. Remember on the note, we talked about some games, right, Jan? So we don't have to worry with that. Am I correct?
We just have the home game on the 11th and away game on the 15th during the remote
Yeah.
period.
Well, we haven't voted on
Okay.
that.
They didn't finish the vote yet.
We haven't voted yet, Earl.
I
Okay,
think you
but I'm
guys are
just-
still in discussion as to whether to allow home fans or not.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying what our note was and what piece of it we have to deal with.
Are we all set? Let's get clear. Then no outside people in during the game, only parents and immediate relatives. Is that correct?
That wasn't the motion.
Then what's the motion?
I think the thing we motioned on at first is to continue the sports program through the remote session.
Okay.
So I think we should approve that first so we know the games are on, and then we can discuss people that
Here,
are coming.
I'm going to withdraw my motion.
To continue the
gonna-
basketball practice through remote period. That's what I had.
I'm going to say it. We're going to continue basketball practice through the remote period.
Mhm.
However, we are going to have our home game on I think it's the 11th, someone say. And we are going to allow fans, family members of the players, so long as they have not traveled and are not quarantining. And they'll follow all the social distancing, masking stuff.
Paul?
That's my motion.
So before when we talked about the games, what did we say for family participation? Was it just one parent or just immediate two guests per player, correct?
We did 3 guests per player for
Three,
volleyball.
okay, so we should keep that as part of it. To keep it consistent, no more than 3 guests per player.
Peg?
Jan, are you comfortable with that?
We'll just make sure I'll have to make sure that we have 2 game managers again so that somebody's greeting them at the door and making sure everybody's scanning and signing in and is sitting socially distanced.
See, that's
Mm.
Paul, you've changed Emily's motion, kind of. Because I don't think there was a limit on Emily's motion on the number of,
Right. Well, I know we had discussed it before about setting limits to the amount of people that come in to watch, and I didn't know if we're just going to throw that away because we'd already agreed on an amount. So if we're changing that amount, then that needs to be part of the motion that's on the table.
I agree. Peg?
But when we did the motion with so many parents, we were not in remote, and there's a reason why we are going with remote. So in my mind, it's not exactly the same. If that makes any sense at all.
I don't know. I know I'm always the voice of dissent. I don't understand why I can't sit with my family away from your family. Like, I understand socially distancing, but I already touch and breathe on all of my family members. So I just don't understand it.
Well,
If we're trying to keep everybody out of the building or all families away from each other for the 2 weeks for quarantining or whatever, in my eyes, I don't think we should have any of it, but that's just me. I mean, that's just one person's opinion.
Right. And I see, so right there, there's two opposite ends of the spectrum. I mean, it's one game. So why can't we limit it to immediate family for the one game, and then once we're out of remote, then we can go back to the normal protocol we had? I mean, we went from going to absolutely not even a practice for the entire month of January to fully restoring the practices and having a game.
I don't necessarily object to having only immediate family. I'm saying my immediate family is more than 3 people.
Well, then we're gonna have to pick and choose who goes. I mean, it's one game. I mean, we need to come to some sort of a happy medium as far as one to
I
the
realize
other.
that. I guess my point is, it sounds like we're talking about more than one game.
Well, I mean, during remote, it's a special situation when people we
Right.
can't
But
even
in
meet
general,
together.
the conversation was, what did we do for volleyball? That implies a season. So just, can we vote on just the motion for just this? Can we just vote on that we're going to have basketball practice? And then can we vote on that we're going to have a game and we'll limit it to that specific game to this many people?
Make the motion.
Make a motion that we're going to.
Just the second motion, I'm confused.
I know.
Nobody
All right, I'm
seconded
gonna-
her last motion, so.
So confused. Okay.
All right.
Oh, when we do a motion, we always second it for discussion.
But
Yeah.
nobody,
I think the
nobody
original-
seconded her last motion.
the
You guys
original
just
motion was
went right
to-
to discussion.
I
So
think
then
the-
that one should
yeah.
be
It was to
Mute.
have the season.
withdrawn.
Go
I
ahead,
thought
Emily.
the first motion that I talked about is to have the season.
Yep.
And let's end it right there and vote on that, and then we can talk about the crowds.
Okay, you got a second for that.
I think.
I seconded something somewhere along the line, but it was
Ah.
just,
You did.
So we're gonna have the
I
season.
think it was just
Did.
for
Motion to
the,
continue basketball practice through remote period
Period.
and
Okay.
play home game January 11th.
Okay,
That's
period.
what I
that was
have.
it. We were just gonna have
That's what I had.
practice and a game.
Peg?
Aye.
Aye. Paul?
Aye.
Emily?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Okay. Now the other part.
Hey,
How many
Got
people
it.
are we gonna allow? At the 11th?
All right, do we allow people during practice?
No.
No.
Okay, so they just drop the kids off, that's it. All right.
Right.
Okay. So it's just that one game. Oof.
Well, if you're gonna have more than 3, that is gonna change our protocol, because our protocol has been 3 fans per player.
Right. That's why I brought it up again.
So if you want to at least discuss the game on the 11th, then we can go back and readdress further home games. But our protocol for sports has been 3 fans per player.
So what are we gonna do? Peg?
I will make a motion that for the game on the 11th, we limit fans to 3 family members of Newt players.
Second.
Okay. Do we have any discussion?
Mhm.
Got that, Tammy?
Yep.
Hope you don't lose all your hair. Comb it up. Peg?
Aye.
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 Emily?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anything else?
Phew.
Anything else?
I'm exhausted.
I know, right?
Every time.
And it was a short meeting.
Supposed to be. It's only 45 minutes. You got plenty of time.
No.
So
Anything else? I'll start with saying I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and stay safe.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas.
Merry
God.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Okay.
everyone.
Do I have anything else? Has to be pertain to this. You have anything for the agenda on the 13th? I ask you to get it into me so I can put it on.
Nope. Just besides the stuff we talked about before, is all the questions that were asked at the last meeting have answers.
Are we all set? Then I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Yes.
Peg?
Aye.
Douglas, aye. Paul?
Aye.
Emily?
aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Everybody, thank you.